It demonstrated that the movement of values terminated here and that the ultimate limit and finality of the economic sphere had been attained. If one can compare the Mort Main with the lion's den, to which all footsteps lead but from which none emerge, then this is also a symbol of the all-embracing absolute and the timelessness of the principle on which the Church is founded. This development of goods into a final purpose whose absolute value extends beyond that of the mere enjoyment of their benefits is found represented most clearly and decisively in avarice and greed, those pathological deformations of the interest in money which increasingly tend to draw in the other cases of the same type. Money that has become an ultimate purpose does not tolerate the coordinated definite values even of those goods that are of a non-economic nature. Money is not content with being just another final purpose of life alongside wisdom and art, personal significance and strength, beauty and love, but insofar as money does adopt this position, it gains the power to reduce the other purposes to the level of means. This reorganization is all the more valid for actual economic goods. To insist on keeping them as if they were incomparable values must appear stupid as long as one can get them back for money at any time, and above all as long as the precise expressibility of their monetary value has robbed them of their existing individual significance and their significance outside the purely indifferent economy. The abstract character of money, its remoteness from any specific enjoyment in and for itself, supports an objective delight in money, in the awareness of a value that extends far beyond all individual and personal enjoyment of its benefits. If money is no longer a purpose, in the sense in which any other tool has a purpose in terms of its useful application, but is rather a final purpose to those greedy for money, then it is furthermore not even a final purpose in the sense of an enjoyment. Instead, for the miser, money is kept outside of this personal sphere, which is taboo to him. To him, money is an object of timid respect. The miser loves money as one loves a highly admired person who makes us happy simply by his existence and by our knowing him and being with him, without our relation to him as an individual taking the form of concrete enjoyment. Insofar as, from the outset, the miser consciously forgoes the use of money as a means towards any specific enjoyment, he places money at an unbridgeable distance from his subjectivity, a distance that he nevertheless constantly attempts to overcome through the awareness of his ownership. Where the character of money as a means makes its appearance as the abstract form of enjoyment which, nonetheless, is not enjoyed, the individual's appreciation of ownership, to the extent that it is preserved intact, has a touch of objectivity about it. It couches itself in the subtle fascination of resignation which attends all objective final purposes, and which unites the positive and negative aspects of enjoyment in a unique and inexpressibly unified fashion. In avarice, both moments achieve their most extreme opposition to one another because money, as the absolute means, provides unlimited possibilities for enjoyment, while at the same time, as the absolute means, it leaves enjoyment as yet completely untouched during the stage of its unused ownership. In this respect, the significance of money coincides with that of power. Money, like power, is a mere potentiality which stores up a merely subjectively anticipatable future in the form of an objectively existing present. The notion of possibility actually contains two aspects which are usually not sufficiently distinguished from one another. If one asserts that one can do something, then this means not only the mental anticipation of a future event, but an already existent state of energy, physical and psychic coordinations, definite locations of existing elements. Whoever can play the piano, even if he does not do so, is different from someone who is unable to do so, not only in a future moment, but even at the present moment on account of the specific present state of his nerves and muscles. Secondly, this state of ability, which in itself contains nothing of the future, leads to the realization of what can be done only by meeting with further conditions whose occurrence we are unable to predict. This moment of uncertainty and that sense or knowledge of a certain strength or state make up the elements of what can be done, in a mixture of very diverse quantities. It commences, for example, with, "I can play the piano," where the moment of reality is paramount and the uncertainty of the other required conditions is at a minimum. It extends to, "The next throw can be all the nines," where the given and known conditions are, at the moment, in a minority in relation to the completely uncertain factors required for any success. Money represents, in a unique combination, the crystallization and embodiment of these two elements of capability. What one really possesses of this capability at the precise moment of possession is nothing. The decisive factor that ensures valuable results is completely extraneous to money. Yet the degree of certainty that it will materialize at the right moment is extremely high. Whereas, as a rule, the measure of reliability and unambiguousness contained in capabilities is determined by what actually exists at the present time. What will happen in the future is uncertain. With regard to money, however, this latter uncertainty has completely disappeared, whereas the actual possession in the present is, as such, of no account. The specific sense of capability is thereby sharply intensified. It is really nothing but capability, in the sense of chances for the future, which gives significance to what we presently own, but it is real capability in the sense of absolute certainty about the realization of such a future. The certainty of satisfaction is further enhanced by the particular relationship between wish and fulfillment which money assumes in contrast to other objects of our interest. The subjective consequences of a fulfilled wish are not always the exact complement of the state of deprivation that originally brought about the wish. The desire for an object is not like a whole that is filled by the possession so that everything remains as it was before the wish. This is the way Schopenhauer presents it, since to him every satisfaction is only something negative, the elimination of a painful condition of deprivation. But if one accepts that satisfaction is something positive, then our wish fulfillment is not only the elimination of a negative state by a corresponding positive one, enhanced by a feeling of happiness. Rather, the relation of the wish to its fulfillment is an infinitely diverse one, because the wish almost never allows for all aspects of the object and its effect upon us. Reality almost never corresponds to the wish as a category of possibility of wanting to possess. The trivial wisdom that the possession of something we wanted usually disappoints us is, for better or worse, correct, and we become conscious of this otherness in possession only as a fact unaccompanied by any feelings.